Hello everyone, I'm Shruti Sridhar, your educator at What Next Education. Now, this is $1 million question that every student preparing for CSIR has in his or her mind, which is, should I prepare for all the 13 units, ma'am? Now, when you look at the syllabus itself, it's so frustrating to see that there are 13 units. And like I've always said, when you're majoring on a particular specialization in your master's education, it is very difficult to sit and learn other topics that are not covered in your degree course while managing a full-time coursework and preparing for this particular exam. So today I'm going to answer this question of, should you really prepare for all the 13 units for the CSIR NET Life Science paper. Now before that, definitely do subscribe the channel if you still have not subscribed, and definitely do follow me on Instagram for all the further updates. And you can also visit me on my official website, which is whatnexteducation.com. All right, now coming to this particular question, the simple straightforward answer is no. You don't have to prepare for all the 13 units in detail. Now the reason why this is so is because the syllabus is in itself really vast, we know it, okay, and also like I said, there are topics in the syllabus that everybody finds easy. We have our strengths, we have our weaknesses. Now when you look at your strengths, you should definitely strengthen and master the high yielding topics, high yielding units compared to the others. That is definitely there. And the second thing is, focus on your strengths rather than trying to perfect each and every part of the syllabus. Now when you look at the entire syllabus, in order to get more possibilities of getting more and more familiar options in part C, because in part C we have 75 questions from which we have to choose 25. So then out of 75 questions, it's easy if you are really familiar with at least 30 to 40 questions, right? That's how we think, right? But the thing is, like I said, if you can focus on a few strong units, okay, and if you can work on your strengths, so that if you are really thorough in a particular unit, then you can answer any question that comes from that unit, makes you stronger in that section, right? Rather than focusing on sections that are difficult and weak for you in this 13 units. Now when I look at the entire 13 unit, you cannot skip these 7 units, okay? So out of 13, these 7 are super important, okay? That means molecules and their interactions, fundamental processes, cell communication signaling, super important. Developmental biology, so you will get definitely questions in all part B and C questions, so you cannot skip this unit at all. Okay, then coming to inheritance biology, which is completely genetics, ecology principles and methods in biology, always tested, always high weightage. So these 7 units are a must. Okay, now in the remaining 6 units, you can definitely play around. Now, not so important, or some places where you can omit these options and choose something else, is definitely these three, which is system physiology, diversity of life forms, and applied biology. But even in system physiology, I would recommend that if you are doing an animal major course, then you should choose unit 7 and you can omit the plant physiology. But if you're doing a plant related course, then you can choose plant physiology and omit the animal physiology. That you can definitely do depending upon your academic background. So you don't have to do both, but don't skip both, okay? Though I said that both are not coming in the high weightage unit, definitely one of this you can choose, so that makes it 8 units, right? Now apart from these 8 units, you can pick one more unit that you are definitely stronger in, okay? And roughly make sure you're able to get at least 8 or 9 units out of 13 majorly and thoroughly, okay? So you will focus on these 8 to 9 topics definitely. Now if you analyze the past year's papers, then you can see that there are some sections that are repeatedly asked. Now maybe those sections don't really come under the high weightage topics that I said, but definitely they are asked in previous years. So whatever are the topics covered in previous years, definitely cover them. Even if it is coming only 3 times 4 times, doesn't doesn't matter, just cover those topics. And the other thing I would suggest is the remaining 4 or 5 units that I am telling you that you can probably skip. I'm not saying completely be oblivious and completely shut it down. That's not what I intend to say. Just go through the easiest topics, get a gist, get a overview of those units, so that at least, let's say, very tough questions are coming from the units that you prepared, and there are probably easy questions to choose from. The units that you've not prepared, you can still omit those questions and choose these questions. Okay, so always go for the easy scoring topics of all the units and majorly thorough yourself and master yourself in at least 8 to 9 units. So if you follow this particular strategy, first thing is, when we think that out of 13 units we have to prepare only 8 or 9, that itself cuts down most of the stress, because we know that okay, these 5 units we don't have to touch at all, or these 4 units is something we don't have to worry too much about, right, and go too much in detail. So that itself will relieve you of a lot of stress. And over and above, the more you master the topics that you are confident in, and the more you start practicing more and more questions from these 8 to 9 units, that means whatever questions come from these units, you'll be immediately able to answer. So this will boost your confidence, and it will also allow you a clear-cut target when you are choosing the Part C questions. All right. So I hope this was useful to all of you. So please do subscribe the What Next channel for more and more videos that can be useful for your preparation, and stay tuned for the next video. All the very best.